with that energetic connection. So it's a major red flag that when you're high, you can't even hardly make eye contact. All right, reason number 2 why young men on self-development should quit smoking weed. That is, weed doesn't only kill your social skills when you're high, it also kills your social skills in the following days when you're sober. And why is that? It's because all of socialization, whether it's attraction or business or working a room, it's all a vibe, okay? And whatever we're feeling in any given moment when we're engaging with someone, they're gonna feel what we're feeling. The way you feel in your mind and in your body is going to bleed out into your social interactions. So if you're feeling positive, funny, energetic, charismatic, self-entertaining, if you're in a good place, if you feel good in your own skin when you're talking to someone, when you're chatting someone up, guess what? They're gonna feel it too. Conversely, if you're feeling like shit, if you're feeling all hungover and strung out, like you can't experience any pleasure in your own body, guess what? That's going to come out of you as like a kind of a dark, muddy, heavy energy that's totally destructive when it comes to socializing, bringing people in, attracting other people. Now, what's this have to do with weed? Well, weed is an addictive drug. Okay, and I know there's been some debate about this in the science, but anyone who's ever smoked weed before knows that if you start smoking weed on a regular basis and you go a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple years smoking weed, guess what? If you want to feel good, you're going to have to smoke weed that day. You do become dependent on weed to hit that dopamine hotspot in your body and in your mind. It's hard for sober activities to compete with the amount of happy chemicals that are released when you suck in that rip. That dope floods your system. So naturally, the more you smoke, the more it becomes the case that in order for you to feel good in your body, in order for you to feel happy, and therefore for you to put out that vibe of happiness to bring people into you, you're going to need to smoke weed. But of course, when you're high, we know that you out that good social vibe. It's a different kind of happiness that you feel when you're high, and it's not the kind that can bring in people toward you via attraction energy. As neuroscientist, YouTuber Andrew Huberman says, addiction is the progressive narrowing of the things that bring us pleasure. Think about that for a second. It's a progressive narrowing of the things that bring us pleasure. So when we become addicted to weed, it starts to be the case that only weed can bring us pleasure. And therefore, we aren't feeling good when we're sober. And when we're not feeling good when we're sober, we're not making others feel good when they're around us because our energy is so murky. So if you're going about your day just thinking about getting home later that night so you can rip that bowl and feel that rush of happy chemicals again, you're not going to be putting out that infectiously positive vibe that's so essential to attracting people to you. I mean, think about the way you feel after a nice solid workout and how bubbly you're feeling and how easy it is for you to go out and meet someone and say, hey, how you doing, right? You approach people effortlessly when you've got that flood of happy chemicals from, say, working out. Compare that to how you feel as you stumble out of your place in the morning after a long night of smoking blunts, and you can't even function until you have some huge amount of caffeine or something. And then, do you ever approach women in that state of mind? Of course not. All right, reason number 3 why any young man on self-improvement should quit smoking weed. Weed destroys your sleep. We as jaw hackers are literally, in some cases, cutting our jaw bones and moving them to increase the size of our airways so that we can breathe better and sleep better. And then we're going to go out and smoke weed because we don't know how to handle our sobriety, and we're going to destroy all that effort we're putting in. Weed fucks with sleep in a variety of ways. It prevents you from achieving certain levels of depth in your sleep, and it fucks with sleep cycles.
Now, the good thing about that part is I don't like having dreams. No, like hell, I ain't got time to be subconsciously thinking about some shit I should be doing. Do you not know what I do in my daytime? That shit that I do in my daytime makes dreams not even feel like they worth my time. That's why I'll be like, nah, I'm trying to get my rest up. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need to have no dream. I'm living the dream, baby.